The young Philly situation has just gone from what was incredibly bad already to a hell of a lot worse, as more allegations have been lodged against the rapper and YouTuber who was already accused of SA and was being detained over in Perth in Australia, but now with more allegations coming out from prior to those allegations from Spain, it's looking a hell of a lot worse. So we're going to dive into the legalities of everything so far, what could potentially happen to young Philly with these new charges included, and basically what we can expect to see moving forward. So the first thing that we need to talk about is young Philly, whose real name is Andres Felipe Valencia Barrentos, who is a household name for millions, known as the viral sketches, music video, and dynamic presence on shows like Don't Scream and Chicken Shop Date. He's been a breakout success in the UK influencer and music scene. But in late 2024 and early 2025, that fame came crashing into controversy as young Philly found himself at the centre of two very serious sexual assault allegations. One in Australia and the other in Spain. In this video, we'll be breaking down the full timeline of events, go deep into each allegation and explain the full legal frameworks in both countries and explore the potential prison sentences and look ahead to what happens next. Before we dive into the allegations, it's important to understand who young Philly actually is. He was born in Colombia and raised in South London, and Philly started gaining traction around 2017 through social media skits and collabs with other UK YouTubers like Chunks. He transitioned into music, hosting gigs and comedy, quickly building a very loyal audience. By 2024, he was appearing on major UK television programs, performing internationally, and even collaborating with huge brands. His reputation was one of charisma and approachability, which made the current allegations even more shocking to his current fan base. So let's talk about the allegations that have, of course, been lodged against young Philly, because they are shocking, as I stated before, yet incredibly damning. So let's begin with the first and most detailed case, the one that is currently unfolding in Australia. On September 28th of 2024, young Philly performed at a nightclub in Perth, Western Australia. According to the police report, after the show, he returned to the hotel with a woman who later alleged that she had been sexually assaulted. The allegations were extremely serious. He's facing 8 charges at the time, including 4 counts of sexual penetration without consent, 3 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm, and 1 count of impeding breathing, a choking related charge. The woman claims that the acts were non-consensual and involved physical violence. After an investigation, police issued a warrant and Philly was arrested in Brisbane on October 2024 before extradited back to Perth. He had since appeared in Perth Magistrates Court, where he pleaded not guilty to all charges lodged against him. The trial mentioned is now scheduled for June 13th of 2025, and the District Court of Western Australia, where the court will decide the next steps, including whether a full trial will proceed and when. Around the same time, a separate case has since emerged from Spain. According to reports from The Sun and NDTV, a British tourist claimed that young Philly raped her in a hotel in Magaluf during the summer of 2024. The alleged incident occurred after he performed at a beach club, and then the woman reported it after returning home from her holiday. Spanish police began investigating, and the case was handed over to a judge in Palma, Mallorca. Standard procedure in Spain, where early stage cases are handled confidentially. It's important to note, though, that no formal charges have been filed yet in this Spanish case. The investigation is ongoing and is being conducted behind closed doors in accordance with the Spanish law. However, Spanish authorities are reportedly working with international partners, including potentially Australian and British authorities, to gather statements and move forward with the case if enough evidence is actually found. But this means that young Philly could face legal proceedings in 2 separate countries, possibly even back to back. So you're probably wondering, what exactly is this case actually built on? Well, let's dive into that. In Australia, the prosecutors claim to have photographic evidence, CCTV footage from the hotel, and testimonies that allegedly corroborate with the woman's story. It's unclear exactly what these visuals contain, but they reportedly form a significant part of the prosecution's case. The defense, however, maintains that the allegations are false and that young Philly will not fight the charges in court. His legal team has not released a public statement, but his not guilty plea indicates a trial may be inevitable. In Spain, the investigation is still early phases, but if formal charges are laid, young Philly could be extradited and summoned to face trial there as well, possibly after proceedings in Australian conduct. Now, if convicted, the consequences are incredibly serious across both countries. So in Australia, sexual penetration without consent carries up to 14 years in prison. If it's found to be aggravated, including choking or causing harm, the sentences jump up to 20 years. Assault occasioning a bodily harm can add up to 10 years to this sentence, and choking charge also viewed as a coercive and dangerous act, often resulting in additional time. If convicted on all counts of the sentence consecutively, young Philly could face over 25 years in prison. Even if served concurrently, the sentence of 7 to 10 years is a very possible, depending on what the court decides to do. Now, in Spain, the only yes means yes law that passed in 2022 reformed how sexual offences are handled now. All non-consensual acts are classified as sexual assault, and the minimum sentence is 6 years and can go up to 12 years depending on aggravating factors. It's also possible that if convicted in both countries, Spanish authorities would wait until young Philly has served his time in Australia before pursuing any sentences there. Through extradition could also be negotiated sooner. So you're probably sat there wondering, well, that all sounds pretty horrendous, but what happens next? Well, it's not looking particularly good. In Australia, we have to wait until June the 13th for the trial that we mentioned. That's when the court decides whether the official trial or any changes to the charges and the structure of the trial, and it could begin late 2025 or even early 2026. If young Philly is found guilty, he would serve sentenced shortly after. If found not guilty, the case would close, but the Spanish investigation could still actually continue. In Spain, the investigation is quietly advancing, and if prosecutors there decide to formally charge him, he could face international legal complications, including a possibility of travel bans, extradition, and also a second trial. Meanwhile, young Philly's career has already taken a significant hit. He's remained mostly silent on social media, and several of his public appearances have reportedly been cancelled or even postponed. As the allegations mount, his brands and collaborators are likely reconsidering any association with him. Now, it's a massive fall for grace for one of the UK's most prominent influencers, but the truth is no verdict has been reached and young Philly remains innocent until proven guilty. The coming months will be crucial though. The evidence will be tested, witnesses will be questioned, and the justice system will determine what happens next. For now though, we can only watch closely as two very serious allegations continue and the public figure faces the toughest chapter of his life. But what do you make of all this? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Do you believe he's guilty, or do you believe we should wait until a verdict is found? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. While you're down there, jump to get the hell out of that like button. Subscribe if you are new to be kept up to date with everything legally in the world. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.